What's going on, guys? 3 days, yes, just 3 more days until the second DCS will commence. Go win a playset of Triple Tax's Talent. Go win some other great prizes like Blazing Vortex boxes. Go get your testing in for our TSP Championship March 9th, where you can win playmats, field centers, cards. If you don't top, you can still win prizes at random because we're trying to give back to you guys as much as we possibly can. We have some amazing sponsors that you guys already saw in the beginning of the video, so make sure you use those links down below, guys. Today we are talking about Cyber Dogmatika traps. We have played, well, Cyber Dogmatika before, showed you guys decks before, and we did include more traps in those builds because they just worked that way and they really paired up really nicely. But until Ali, our friend over at Yugihoh, go check out his YouTube channel as well. He has been trying to convince me to do it for a long time now, but he got top 8 at MBT's most recent tournament. There's 128 players. He got top 8 with a very similar build, and then Yassine ended up coming out with his version of the build too. Both of these guys have been preaching to me about cutting Galaxy Soldier in the trap builds. I didn't want to do it. I haven't tried it. Finally, well, it happened. We did it. We cut it, and we are playing the Dogmatika build. I'm going to throw that out there right away. It's in the title. It's everything. It's really important. It really helps. It's one card combos. It's consistency. It helps push the deck further, and it really makes it easier to cut the Galaxy Soldiers. So again, thank you to, well, our friend over at Alex Yugihoh. Again, go check out his channel quick. Big thanks to him for talking to us and really convincing us to drop Galaxy Soldier from our build. And then, as always, thanks to Yassine for bringing the trap build kinda to the forefront, and that kinda innovated, you know, Ali's build, and where he took it and went a step further, if you will, or at least updated it for the current format. We are going to go ahead and play the new pot card because, well, it comes out here in just a couple days, so we want to test it. We want to show you guys that, and let's go ahead and throw the list up on the screen now. Enough talking. Let's go ahead, look at it. There it is. You see the list. So we see 1 Cyber Dragon, 3 Cyber Dragon Core, 2 Hers, 1 Naxter, 1 Fear, and 1 Dry. This is our Cyber Dragon lineup. It's a different one. It's a weird one, and we're going to go ahead and try to talk and explain to you guys why all this is the way it is. Quick thing I do want to mention very quickly, I said I was going to tell you guys in my next Cyber video how you can win the Hail Sidra, the Cyber Altanin with all the baby Cyber Dragons heads on it, Field Center from Stay Classy. We have one. We're going to give ours away because, well, most people didn't get a chance to get one. Most people don't have it. We want to give back to you guys because, well, we appreciate everything you do. We appreciate the views, the subscriptions, the comments, the sharing, everything you guys do. If you want that Hail Sidra Field Center, go join both of those tournaments down below, and then, well, if you're the only one who does it, you just got the Field Center. So, I mean, pretty cool, pretty easy. All you gotta do is join the tournaments and possibly win a whole bunch of other stuff too, and you might win that Field Center. So like I said, if one person does it, you have a 100% chance to win it. 2, 50%, and, well, you can do math from there. So that is our one way we are going to give it away. If that doesn't happen, well, we'll find another way to potentially give it away, but that's the one where you have your best chance at it. Join both those tournaments, and there's a good chance you'll get that Field Center for free. Back to the deck list. So Cyber Dragon Core really is the engine of the deck. Like, you want to summon it, you want to see it, you want to get to it, you want to, like, you can summon it, search your emergency, and then when it goes to the graveyard, you'll be able to banish it on your next turn to summon a card, and then emergency to your dry, summon your dry, and now you have, well, your Nova play. That's one of the lines that we have seen the great innovators of this deck taking, and that's just the power of core. The whole point of this deck is you don't want to say, well, I need to open this and this, I need these 2 cards, I need these 2 cards. We want to be able to just open a hand and play the game every single time. We don't want to open a hand and be like, okay, well, I got one of the 2 cards I needed, one of the 3 cards I needed. We want to open it and say, awesome, I have what I need. So the deck is simplified, if you will, into that regards. 2 Hertz because, I mean, we're not playing Galaxy Soldier. We're not running for that combo route, obviously. So it's nice for recursion. It's nice for cute little plays. but it's not nearly as impactful, if you will, without these other big time cards. We do have the one Naxter because, well, it's a great removal card, great revival card, great mid game, great late game, helps the grind game, bringing back your Nova, bringing back your Infinity, bringing back your Seeger, your Rampage, your Cyber Dragon if you need to for certain plays. It will come up. Like, this card is really, really good, and I do recommend playing, well, 1 in the trap base builds and 2 in the others. 1 Cyber Dragon Fear because, well, it's free summon, chain blocks core. Like, we're not playing dupe, you don't need to block for that. I mean, not that it would block for it in any way, shape, or form, but like, fear and core, it gets you your plays because you can make like a Seeger if you can extend further and get to your Rampage without them, or you can just go into your Verde and you have a Rampage, and you already then have, well, 6,800 damage on board. You're popping back row, and then you can set a bunch of back row and just completely control your opponent's turn. So the 1 fear, it is really nice, and it is a level 4 for your overflow. 1 dry because, well, the effect does come up. Like, it's interesting in the way the deck plays. Like, we don't really, like, core is still the normal summon, but dry is there as a follow up. Like, it's a play that you set up. It's not a turn 1 route. You search it out so easily, and that's really how you end up abusing it to the most of its potential. And I mean, it's a cute little effect where you can protect like your Rampage from Solemn or something like that when you banished your dry for the summon of it. Sorry for the little stalls there. It's getting a little late. This is the last video we're going to do today. We will have an updated no dupe and dupe list for February, so stay tuned for those, guys. If you're not a fan of the trap build, I'm going to try and pick up the pace a little bit here while still explaining things as much as possible, because there's been so much confusion around this deck. This is very, very, very much so a going second deck still. Do not choose to go first with this deck. If you're forced to go first, that's one thing. Don't choose it. Get that cat out of the bag. 2 Ecclesia, 1 Fleur. I really prefer these ratios. A lot of people play 1 Ecclesia, 1 Fleur. I've seen 2 Ecclesia, no Fleur. I like 2 and 1 because it just really helps the deck continue past that initial play. You don't burn through the engine turn 1. You continue to be able to, like, you can resolve Nadir Servant twice. You can, you know, get the full advantage of your Titaniclad, your punishment. Like, you can really just snowball and really gain the advantage over your opponent, and you can, well, search out punishment more than one time this way. So for these reasons, I like the 2 Ecclesia, the 1 Fleur, 3 Emergency. You know, you want to get to core, you're always going to play 3 Emergency and Cyber Dragon. 1 Cyberload Fusion to recur your resources. We're not playing Dragoon, we're not bricking on those cards, so you can absolutely afford to run the 1 Cyberload Fusion, and being able to search about your Rampage Fusion, your Rampage Dragon multiple ways. Summoning it on your opponent's turn during a back row deck, like, you go first and you can set it, and you have your overflow pops a bunch of cards, and then you can still cyberload that turn and pop all their traps before they're live. 1 Overload Fusion because it's another searchable way to Rampage. Like, Rampage is the true boss monster of this deck. 3 Nadir Servant. I like the 3 because we want to get to the Ecclesia. We like to open it. We like the power play. We like to send our Intis. We like to pop a card. We like to send the Titaniclad and really set up, you know, our board to disrupt our opponent as much as possible. Really, really strong card, especially when you're running a bunch of traps. Forbidden Droplet is insane in this deck, and, like, I can't say enough. You send a trap chain to the VFD, now they can't use Chuchi. You just beat Virtual World. Like, it's that simple. That 1 pop ain't going to do anything to you. And even if you don't open your droplet, like against Virtual World, we have enough cards to out their board to really just mug them. And, like, we don't care about VFD. The deck, as you can see, we don't spam out like a monster board. We don't do it that way. The deck is just really, really good. It's really consistent. It's really grindy, and a lot of people just seem to not know how to play against it. It's a different play style. I get it. It takes some getting used to, but I mean, like 2 days into testing, I almost forgot Galaxy Soldier wasn't even in the deck anymore. Like, the deck, it's crazy good, and right now I think we're up to I know we were 16-3 the other day in testing. I believe we're like 24 and 4 at the moment. I'd have to look for my paperwork, but the deck's just really, really crazy good, and we're gonna play it again on, well, tonight for our locals. Join Nerd Night Gaming if you want to come do that. It's a lot of fun. We are playing 3 Pot of Disparity because getting to your power cards, getting to the cards you want, cards is ridiculous. Like, especially because we usually go second, so once you play it, you'll kind of know. There's a lot of matchups where it's like, oh, I don't need Mega Fleet, I don't need Fortress, or at least 2 of them. I don't need both Rampages. So I mean, you can get rid of 3 or 4 cards right there. They're not going to put out a big-bodied monster for my punishment to pop. I don't need my Barbaroid. I can get rid of that. I can get rid of Anima. Like, the deck is really easily to the deck really easily has 6 cards to get rid of. That's what we're trying to say there. These 2 cards, we tried Crackdown, we tried Compulse, we tried Trap Trick, we tried Solemn Judgment, we tried Needle Sealing. We tried a lot of things here, and we ended up going with Cosmic Cyclone because Eldritch just really is so popular and so good right now. Like, Cosmic Cyclone, really, really strong, and it's been my favorite card out of all those 2-ofs that we've been testing, so that's where we're going to go for that, is 2 Cosmic Cyclone. 2 Overflow, 3 Punishment, 3 Solemn Strike, cards really, really good, 2 Torrential Tribute, cards insane, and 2 Ice Dragon's Prison, again, card really, really good. If you can't afford it, I mean, play any of those other ones we mentioned, probably starting with like Compulse, Needle Sealing, Solemn Judgment. Crackdown really felt underwhelming because I don't like the continuous traps, because all your opponent has to do is either pop it before you can use it, or pop it after you use it, and then they get their monster back anyway. So if you can't afford the Ice Dragon's Prison, I would play the Compulse, most likely, Solemn Judgment, things like that. Forbidden Droplet, if you don't have it. I guess Dark Ruler No More is a cheap option that, I mean, it's not going to hit the VFD, but it does hit a lot of different things. Pot of Disparity, I mean, throw 3 hand traps in if you want, or throw a 3rd Hers, another Fear, and another Cosmic Cyclone in if you don't want the disparities, or for budget reasons, because I mean, look at the deck. This is not a budget deck. I mean, luckily we're playing online though, guys. We're playing online, so you don't have to have the cards in real life to enjoy playing it online and doing well. The extra deck, we have the 1 Fleet, 2 Fortress. Zeus is a pretty big thing, and it never really comes up too often, but neither does the Mega Fleet. If anything, we might toolbox in something else, but if you're playing 3 of these, I prefer 2 Fortress. 2 Fusion spells, so 2 Rampage, pretty easy. The 1 Titaniclad, that's all you really need for that engine, because it just, by that time you use it once, and like 1 Nadir Serpent, you already burnt through your Dogmatika main deck, so you don't really need multiple Titaniclads. The 2 Elder Entity and Tis turns punishment into a pop 2. Why wouldn't you want that? 1 Barbaroid. So this has a dual purpose here. It actually used to see play in Cyber Dragons way back in the day as the OG Nova target. We almost put Cyber End in just because we're playing Cyber Dragon, but we're trying to be as competitive as possible, and that means Barbaroid here. So what if our opponent has a really big monster on board that we can't get over? What if it's like a Conductor Tyrannal that's got 3,500, something like that? Well, we need a bigger body, so Barbaroid is a really big punishment target. Additionally, if they Nibiru you on your Nova, I mean, it doesn't really happen a whole lot in this build, but if that is something that comes up, guess what? You can summon this off your Nova, and it can make 2 attacks during each battle phase. Obviously, it can't attack directly, but you know, it can burn for 1,000 damage if it destroys an opponent's monster. Unlike Makaba, they can't just run it over with Nibiru because it has more attack points than Nibiru. So, again, pretty good there. That's just the dual purpose of it. Most fusions we've played in a long time in a Cyber deck. 1 Nova, 1 Infinity, then Almirage, Anima. It doesn't come up too often, actually. A lot of people play around it really well, might end up cutting it, but for now, it is nice when they don't. 1 Seeger and 1 Verde Anaconda for our main deck. I guess for our extra deck, the main deck's up here. Side deck, hand traps, this build especially, they're kind of lackluster, but I do like the bigger blowouts, like Virtual World and Drytron being the 2 big matchups. Like, put Droll in for Drytron, Lancia in for Virtual World, and I mean that's about that. Lightning Storm, evenly matched. Help versus back row decks, Eldritch, things like that. And what if our opponent's going to play like Lightning Storm? What if they're going to side in other cards like Harpy's Feather Duster, these big blowouts to, get rid of your back row? A Pointer of the Red Lotus. This has been hands down my favorite side deck card. Every time I expect to go first, or if I do decide to choose to go first, I put this card in because not only do you, get to see your opponent's entire hand and banish a card from it, you get that hand knowledge. You know what to negate. You know what to use your traps on. You know when to use everything. And did I mention you get to take that Feather Duster? You get to take that Lightning Storm. Or if they don't open a blowout to blow up your back row, you can take that key combo piece out of their hand and not have to worry about it. A Pointer is absolutely insane in this deck, and I really, really like it. Hopefully you guys liked the video. Like I said, if you want that Hail Sidra Field Center, you can see it on the screen here. Make sure, just go join those two pages. Go join those 2 events. Obviously, you're going to have to pay to enter them. But, I mean, the Field Center already cost more than them when it was in stock. And it's not in stock anymore. You can't get this Field Center. And like I said, we do have the one to give away to somebody somehow. And this is going to be the easiest way to do it. It's going to be your best chance at it. Because, I mean, if we give it away to a subscriber, your odds of, 1 in 5 or less just went to 1 in 1,400. Wouldn't you want 1 in 5? That's just me. Anyways, take care, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for being here. See you guys next time.